Hello guys, welcome back. In the previous class, we did not discuss anything in relation to the subject. I only gave you a brief about the aspects or the avenues that are available to chartered accountants. We spoke about the average pay packages, and then of course I just described a little about the relevance of business mathematics. Now, in this class, we would actually be starting our syllabus. As I told you guys, that our syllabus is segregated into three parts. There is business mathematics for 40 marks, there is logical reasoning for 20 marks, and then there is statistics for 40 marks. We would be taking up business mathematics first, we will then move on to logical reasoning, and then we will move on to statistics. Business mathematics, let me tell you again, will come for 40 marks in the examination. There are 8 topics under business mathematics in our syllabus. The names of those 8 topics are not relevant as of now. We do not have to get into those details. When the time is right, we will come back to the entire syllabus. I will be discussing the weightage and everything. Before we start the class, guys, we all know that the situation out there is pretty bad. Please keep yourself safe. Last year, guys, 2020, the number of cases were far lower than what we are seeing now. In spite of that, there were stricter measures, there were strict lockdowns and everywhere better. Now the curbs or the restrictions are pretty less. People are freely moving, and that is a possible reason why the number of cases are so high out there. So yes, please ensure that you keep yourself and your family safe better. Coming to the syllabus, guys, the very first topic that I would be starting with is sequences and series. That is chapter number 6 of your business mathematics. The reason behind starting with this topic better is I do not want to start off with a very easy topic, nor do I want to start with a complicated. Nothing is complicated, but then I do not want to start with a little complicated topic. Everything would be simple. Only once we start doing things as such better, you will realize that nothing is complicated, everything is pretty simple. But still better, I would be starting with a topic called as sequences and series, a pretty simple topic, easier topic. Most of you must have done this in your 10th, a couple of you must have done this in your 11th as such, guys. Even if you're from non-max background, again guys, as I kept saying, do not worry about it. Couple of you were asking me in the sessions yesterday as such better as to should we be putting or should we be maintaining a plain book or a rule notebook. For max, it does not matter, guys, whether you maintain a plain notebook or a rule notebook as such, guys, because anyways there are just MCQs in the examination. You will not be given any additional sheets. You will just have to utilize the space in the question paper, or in the end of the question paper beta, you might just have 1 or 2 sides available to solve the questions. So yes, make sure that you know how to solve questions also, guys, in smaller spaces. But nevertheless, guys, maintain proper notes. Whatever we're discussing in the class, whatever problems that we're doing in the class, guys, everything should be properly written in your notebook. It is not that beta you only mark the final answers and do not maintain proper notes, because later when you revise as such, guys, and you want to go back and check the solution of any question, obviously your notes would be useful. Kuch bhi maintain karo beta. It can be a plain notebook, it can be a rule notebook, does not matter, but maintain a 300-page notebook at least. Do not maintain those 100 pages notebooks, because even 300-page notebook as such, guys, we might end up utilizing 3 or 4 notebooks. That is how much we will be writing, that is how much we will be solving. And as far as the syllabus, as far as the number of questions are concerned, guys, the questions that you're going to cover in the classes plus the questions that I'll be asking in the examination as such, guys, over 18 to 20 tests, around 1400 1500 MCQs, all of that beta would be sufficient for the examination, more than sufficient. You will not have to do anything else. So just concentrate or just practice what is being told to you and do not do anything else. Now, guys, I would first define the meaning of the word sequence. Then, guys, I would define the meaning of the word series. Then I will tell you what is the practical relevance of this topic, as to why is sequence and series included or is forming part of business mathematics. Why should this form part of business mathematics? How will this be useful later in finance or in accounts or in costing? I will be relating a little to it as such, guys, so that you understand the relevance of this topic. Now, when we use the word sequence, it basically means arrangement of objects, arrangement of things, or arrangement of numbers as per a definite rule. Arrangement of objects, arrangement of things, arrangement of numbers as per a definite rule. What is very important here beta is understanding that yes, there has to be a rule, there has to be a relation here. If there is no rule, if there is no relation, it cannot be a sequence. There has to be a relation between those numbers. Only if there is a relation between those objects, only if there's a relation between those numbers, it will be possible for you to arrive at or to estimate, to calculate any term of that sequence. If I ask you what will come in the 10th position, you should be able to answer that. If I ask you what will come in the 15th position, you should be able to answer that. Now you will be able to answer that only if you know that there is some relationship existing there. If there is no relationship existing, obviously it will not be possible for you to arrive at that number which will come in the 10th or the 15th position. So when we use the word sequence, ध्यान से सुनना बेटा, listen carefully guys. Yeah, for those who do not know Hindi at all guys, do not worry. By mistake also, if I use one or two Hindi sentences as such guys, I would translate that in English at any cost. Do not worry about it. So when I use the word sequence as such guys, I am basically telling you, and one more important thing which I did not tell you so far, do not copy while I'm explaining something. Listen to the entire explanation. Even if you know all of this, it is absolutely fine. Listen to the explanation first. There will be sufficient time given to copy. It is not like the minute I am done with my explanation, I'll be like, sorry, over, I will move on to the next topic. Nahi beta, I will give you sufficient time to copy. Do not worry about it. So yes, while I'm explaining, please listen. Now when I say sequence as such guys, it is arrangement of numbers, arrangement of objects, arrangement of numbers, objects, things. As per a definite rule. When I say as per a definite rule as such guys, I just told you that there should be some relationship that is existing there. If there is no relationship that is existing there as such guys, you will not be able to arrive at the next number. Do not, one more important thing beta is, those sequence can be arrangement of objects and things also. Our discussion in this chapter is strictly restricted to numbers. Our discussion beta in this chapter is restricted to numbers. Sir, will we have arrangement of objects or arrangement of things later? Yes, as a part of logical reasoning as such guys, we might have arrangement of objects, arrangement of things, wherein there is some relationship existing there and we can arrive at, or we can calculate, we can estimate what will come in the next place. Here beta, for the time being, remember our discussion is strictly restricted, to arrangement of numbers. Arrangement of numbers. Do not forget beta, we are starting chapter number 6 of business mathematics. Arrangement of numbers beta in this chapter. As I told you already beta, time will be given to you. You do not worry about this. My handwriting is crazy, I know guys, but then in case there is something that you are not understanding as such beta, listen, do not forget, I'm explaining so much, so obviously you can relate to what is being written here beta. So our discussion is always restricted to arrangement of numbers as such guys in this chapter. Do not forget, there has to be a relationship guys. Only if a relationship exists, only if a relationship exists, we can arrive at any term of the sequence. We can arrive at any term of the sequence. If there is no relationship beta, there is no way that we arrive at some term of that sequence as such guys. So sequence is merely arrangement of numbers as of now, only numbers as such beta, as per a definite rule. As per a definite rule. Sir, can you give us an example, sir? Yes beta, there can be multiple examples that we can discuss here of sequence. Say guys, if I tell you that my numbers as such beta are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now don't you know beta that here every term is increasing? Are you able to establish a mathematical relationship? Yes, you are able to establish a relationship here. Every term is increasing by 2. Every term is 2 more than the preceding term. Yes or no? So yes, using this rule, using this relationship, I will be able to define, or I will be able to arrive at any term of the sequence. If you ask me what will come after 10, yes, the answer is 12. We know because there is a relationship that is existing here. So using this terms as such beta, the numbers given, it will be possible for us to arrive at the number that will come next. That is what you should know as such beta here. Every term beta here is increasing by 2. Every term is 2 more than the preceding term. Yes or no? 2 more than the preceding term. So is it a sequence or not, beta? Yes. Sir, are we supposed to copy? No, sir. You are not supposed to copy. 2 more than the preceding term. So yes, it is a sequence because there is a mathematical relationship, or there is a relationship here. I am using the term mathematical relationship because, as I already told you, our discussion is restricted to numbers in this chapter. We are not going to get into discussion of other topics better here. Sir, can you give us some other example? Yes, better. I can give you many examples here. Sir, what if the numbers are 3, 6, 12, 24, 48 and so on? Now guys, if I take this as a relation, or if I take this these sequence of numbers as such better here, you know guys that the second number is 3 into 2. The first number is 3, second number is 3 into 2, 6, third number is 6 into 2, 12, fourth number is 12 into 2 beta 24, fifth number is 24 into 2, 48, so on. If you ask me the next number, undoubtedly beta the answer would be 48 into 2, and that would be 96. The next number as such beta would be 48 into 2 beta, and that would be 96. So is there a sequence? Yes, there is a sequence. You can establish a relation beta here, and it is possible for you to calculate any term of this sequence. If you ask me what will come next, your answer beta will be 48 into 2. If you ask me what will come thereafter, it will be 96 into 2, 192. Thereafter beta again 192 into 2, 384, and so on. Yes or no? Yes. So here beta again every term is 2 times the preceding term. 2 times the preceding term as such beta. So yes, again this is a sequence. These are an arrangement of numbers. This is a collection of numbers as such beta. As per a definite rule, there is a rule that is existing here. So yes, this is a sequence. Now sir, can there be any other relation? Say I have 5 square, I have 5 cube, 5 power 4, 5 power 5. Yes beta, again this is a sequence. There is a relationship that is existing. So this would become a sequence again. This is example number 3 beta, not 3. I hope you're all understanding here better. To start off with, I told you, I will talk about the relevance of this topic also better. Please do not worry about it. So as of now, I just told you better that sequence is an arrangement of numbers, objects, things with a definite rule. There should be some relation that is existing there. Only if there's a relationship existing better, it is possible for us to calculate any number or any term of that sequence. Our discussion is strictly restricted to numbers. I'm just giving you a couple of examples wherein I said better. The first example here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Next example 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, 5, 5 square, 5 cube, 5 power 4, 5 power 5, so on. What is the most important point that you should know better here is that the order of terms is very important. The order of terms is very important, guys, because if you mess up with the order of terms as such, guys, you will not know whether the terms are in sequence or not, whether they establish or whether they form a sequence or not as such, guys, if the terms are not in a specific order. Now guys, let me just give you an example again better. What if the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes sir, it is a sequence. But what if I jumble up those terms as such, guys, and I write, say the first number is 5, then it is 1 as such, guys, then it is say 2, then it is 4, then it is 3. It will not be possible for you to establish a relation. This is just random, selection of numbers as such better. This is just random selection of numbers, not a sequence. Random selection of numbers better. This will not be a sequence. समझ में आ रहा है ना बेटा? Are you understanding as such, guys? Yes. So that is why we say better that the order of terms is very important when you talk about a sequence. If you mess up with the order of terms as such, guys, you write them by jumbling the terms as such, guys, then obviously, guys, it will be difficult for you to establish a relation there. That is why it is very important that you stress on the order of terms also. So sir, basically you told us that there are two important things here. There should be a definite rule, mathematical relationship that is existing between those numbers, and the numbers should be in the specified order only. We cannot jumble those terms. We cannot, guys, shift those terms. So can there be any other example of a sequence as such, guys? Yes beta, there can be other examples of sequences, multiple other examples of sequences. Now say beta, when I talk about other examples here as such beta, say one of these example is what if I have 2 into 3, 3 into 4, 4 into 5, 5 into 6. These are the terms as such, guys. Okay. Whoever knows progressions, whoever have learned about arithmetic progression, geometric progression earlier, I do not care about all of that as such, beta. Not relevant to me. What is important here, beta, is you understanding that whether these numbers, whether the numbers that we're talking about here as such, guys, do they form, or is there a mathematical relationship existing or not? If there is a mathematical relationship existing, it will be termed as a sequence. So yes, boss, even this is a sequence. Sir, how do you know this is a sequence? Obviously, if I ask you what is the next term as such, guys, if I ask you what is the next term, you'll tell me, beta, it will be what? Next term as such, guys, would be after 5 into 6. What is the next term that you will think about, beta? Is obviously 6 into 7. When I ask a question like this as such, beta, when I'm looking into the camera and asking a question, it is not a question for myself. You sitting at home can also answer that as such, guys. Absolutely no problem. No one will think, beta, that you are a fool, that you're talking to your laptop. Nahi, you can obviously answer as such, beta. That way you will feel that you're the part of the class also. So I hope everyone has understood this as such, guys, as to what is the meaning of the word sequence. Now, guys, just to give you a small idea, there are many things in life as such, beta. There are many things in the practical world. Life kate. Now let us not come to that. Huh? There are many things in the practical world as such, guys, that actually, are in some relation. There's some relation as such, beta, between those terms. What if, beta, I tell you that you're depositing 1,000 rupees every month in a bank account as such, guys, and that money at a fixed rate of interest as such, guys, that interest rate is not changing, but every month you will keep on depositing 1,000 rupees in a bank account. You would want to know what is the amount of money that you will have in your account after 10 years. Now, it is not like you will literally calculate using a calculator as such, beta. What if you can establish a mathematical relationship there? Based on that mathematical relationship, what if I tell you that there is a shortcut to simply sum up those 1,000 rupees that you're depositing for a span of 10 years? Don't you think we are indirectly using sequence to arrive at the balance that you will have in your account? Socho, beta, think about it. I'm telling you that every month you're depositing 1,000 rupees in your bank account at a fixed rate of interest. So when I write those terms, 1,000 and the interest amount on that, don't you think there will be a mathematical relationship there? Don't you think using that mathematical relationship, instead of literally adding that 1,120 times and the interest income on that as such, guys, I can maybe use some formula that will help me in directly computing the amount that I will have in my account? Yes, sir. Likewise, beta, that is just one example. Likewise, what if, guys, pay attention, beta, what if there is an equity share that pays a fixed amount of dividend, or that pays a dividend that is increasing at a constant rate year after year? Don't you think, beta, again there will be some mathematical relationship? Yes, you will yes, beta, it is very important to know that a lot of formulas in finance are based on sequence. I'll tell you later exactly which type of sequence, beta, later, but then a lot of formulas in finance are based on sequence. So sir, are we supposed to learn all the formulas here to understand those formulas later? No, beta. See, at CA intermediate level, I take up 4 papers out of 8 papers, but at CA intermediate level, as such, guys, when I'm deriving any formula, I might make some references to sequences and series here. At CA final level, when I'm deriving some formula in finance, again I might make some relevance, this thing relation to the topics that we are learning here as such, guys. That is a whole part of business mathematics, right, guys? This sequence and series is basically telling us that a lot of calculations in real life might have some relations. Instead of you adding those numerous terms, instead of you adding hundreds of figures, maybe you can establish a mathematical relationship. Maybe you can directly use a shortcut. You might use a formula to arrive at that solution. Using formula does not mean as such, guys, that you haven't understood the underlying concept. Boss, we have understood the underlying concept. We know that there's a relationship existing. Using that relationship as such, we are trying to arrive at those numericals. Valuation of equity share, guys, is based on sequences and series. Valuation of equity share based on dividends. Are we not again using this in business? Don't you think this should form part of business mathematics? Of course, yes, it should form part of business mathematics. That is why we are learning here. This is the relevance. Wherever there are numbers that are to be added and there is a relationship existing, we will use this. Why can't we use this? Happily, we will use this, beta, and arrive at the answers. Ha ya na, sir? Yes, beta. Understood, guys? Yes. So why don't we do one thing better? We'll start copying this. I will give you a time frame of 2-3 minutes. You copy all of this. Maybe I'll come up with other examples of real life wherein which are related to sequences, so that you can relate to it and understand this topic better. Yes, copy करना शुरू करो बेटा. All of you start copying this in your notebooks. Everyone is supposed to have a notebook, no matter what happens. Copy properly in your notebook, guys. I'm going to wait for a span of 2 minutes. I'll slowly scroll up. And if you did not copy some part of it as such, guys, do not forget there's always a pause button. You can pause the video, look at the screen, and then copy. I hope you're done with this better. I'm scrolling up. Copy all the examples, guys, properly in your notebook. Yes, beta. I hope you're all done copying this. Just in case you're not done with this, beta, you can pause the video and then do it. Yes, guys. I hope you're all done with this. So the only thing that we have learned so far, beta, is that sequence is a collection of numbers, an arrangement of numbers as per a definite rule, that there should be some mathematical relationship that is existing there. Using that mathematical relationship, guys, it is possible for you to calculate any term of that sequence. If you want to know what comes in the 10th position, 20th position, 30th position. Also, guys, the other thing that I told you is the arrangement of numbers is pretty important, guys. The order of numbers is important. You cannot change the order of numbers, because if you change the order of numbers as such, better, the relationship might not hold good. It will not be possible for you to establish a mathematical relationship. So yes, you will have to ensure that you write the numbers in the same order. You cannot change the order of the terms. Now, just for our understanding as such, better, they are denoted by the terms of a sequence as such, guys. The terms of a sequence are denoted as A1, A2, A3. A1, A2, A3, so on till AN, guys. The terms of a sequence, beta, are denoted as A1, A2, A3, so on till AN, which means, beta, here A1 is the first term and AN के आगे भी रह सकता है, beta. Not necessary that it should stop at AN. A1 is the first term, guys. A2 is the second term. A3, beta, is the third term, and so on. This is how we denote them as such, guys. A1, A2, A3, and so on. So if I take this example, guys, of say 5, 5 square, 5 cube, 5 power 4, 5 power 5. Here obviously beta A1 is 5, A2 beta is 5 square, A3 is 5 cube, A4 is 5 power 4, A5 is 5 power 5, and so on. Okay. Now guys, types of sequences. Types of sequence. I would broadly again classify them as such, guys, or there are two classifications. First one beta is based on number of terms. Now this is pretty simple as such, guys. Based on number of terms. Based on number of terms beta, we define them as finite sequence and infinite sequence. Finite sequence. Basically beta, where there are finite number of terms. Where there are finite number of terms. Finite number of terms. Okay. So this would be a finite sequence as such, guys. An infinite sequence. Infinite sequence is basically beta where there are infinite number of terms. So now this is pretty simple, sir. Obviously beta, this is pretty simple. Infinite number of terms. This is based on the number of terms that we have beta. This is the type of sequence. Sir, what will be the example of a finite sequence? What will be the example of an infinite sequence? Now when you talk about the examples beta here, what if I tell you first 10 natural numbers? First 10 natural numbers as such beta would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have finite number of terms as such, guys, or do we have infinite number of terms here? Obviously beta, these are finite number of terms. Finite number of terms as such, guys. So will this be a finite sequence or will this be an infinite sequence? Obviously beta, this is a finite sequence. This will be a finite sequence. Why, sir? Because there are finite number of terms here. We do not have infinite number of terms. Countably finite as such, guys. What if I simply tell you set of natural numbers? When you say set of natural numbers, I hope everyone knows what are natural numbers as such, guys. Natural numbers are just termed as the counting numbers as such, beta 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. Because if I just say set of natural numbers as such, beta, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on as such, beta. This will go to infinity. This will go to infinity. So this will be termed as an infinite sequence. Infinite sequence beta, because there will be infinite number of terms. There will be infinite number of terms. समझ में आ रहा है ना बेटा? Are you understanding this? So when you say finite sequence, it basically has finite number of terms. When you say infinite sequence, there are infinite number of terms. Nothing else is such better here. ठीक है sir, understood. Now any other example that you want as such, guys? Again, if you say, guys, the set of multiples of 3, guys, less than 100, again this would be a finite sequence only. When you talk about multiples of 3, guys, less than 100, multiples of 3 less than 100 as such, guys, that would be 3, 6, 9. Now these are positive numbers only as such, guys, to not get into negative numbers. 12, 15, multiples of 3 as such, guys. Last number would be 99. So obviously this would be an again example of finite sequence. There is a mathematical relationship that exists and there are finite number of terms. So undoubtedly beta, this would be a finite sequence. Are we clear about this? Yes sir, we are clear about this. So the terms of a sequence are denoted as A1, A2, A3, so on till AN as such, guys. Now guys, another important thing beta is, as far as, सुन लो बेटा, finite sequence, they denote it as AI as such beta, where I will range from 1 to n. I will range from 1 to n. Basically beta, this would be A1, A2, A3, A4, so on till AN. So basically that they're telling us that this is a finite number of terms. AI matlab kya beta? They're just denoting it as I. I can be 1, I can be 2, I can be 3, I can be 4, so on till I can be n. This is how you denote a finite sequence. This is how you denote a finite sequence. Sir, how should I denote an infinite sequence then? Sir, infinite sequence will be denoted as, we are all talking about sequences only beta so far. AI, where I will range from 1 to infinity. Matlab guys, you will have first term, you will have second term, you will have third term, you will have fourth term, so on till infinite terms as such guys. There is no end point here. There is no end point. So when there is finite sequence, it is I ranging from 1 to n. There are finite number of elements. 100 terms can be finite, 1000 terms can be finite. So when you have defined a number of terms, so many terms are there, it will be a finite sequence. When the number of terms are not defined as such guys, and it can take any value, it is infinite sequence, infinite number of terms. I hope everyone has understood better as to what are the types of sequences. Just for your understanding as such better, we denote the terms of a sequence. I'm repeating it again. We denote the terms of a sequence as A1, A2, A3, A4, so on, where A1 means it is the first term, A2 means it is the second term, A3 is the third term, A4 is the fourth term. Now, the types of sequences based on the number of terms that we have beta can be a finite sequence, can be an infinite sequence. A finite sequence as such guys, I repeat, a finite sequence has finite number of terms, an infinite sequence beta has infinite number of terms. Infinite number of terms beta. Examples I just gave you beta, set of natural numbers guys. Natural numbers are nothing but counting numbers 1 2 3 so on till infinite as such beta. So I gave natural numbers up to 10 as such guys, first 10 natural numbers, or a set of natural numbers, finite and infinite sequence. Again beta, I'm telling you that finite sequence is denoted as AI, where I can range from 1 to n. So it is basically A1, A2, A3, A4, so on till AN. Or beta AI, where I can be 1 to infinity. So it is A1, A2, A3, A4, so on till A infinity. The end term is not defined. So this is the types of sequences beta based on number of terms. The other types of sequences that we have is based on relationship. Before we do that, obviously you will copy this beta. Chalo beta, I'll give you 2 minutes again. Quickly make a note of this. All of you guys make a note of this. I hope you're all copying this guys. I hope you're done with this. If you're not done with this, pause the screen and then do it. Now this part. quickly finish this beta. I hope you're all done with this, guys. So this was about the types of sequences based on the number of terms. So far, but I just told you that sequence is nothing but a collection of numbers as per a definite rule. There has to be a mathematical relationship that exists between those numbers so that it is possible for you to calculate any term of that sequence. Also, the order of terms of a sequence is very important, because if you change the order of the terms as such, the relationship might not exist. We denote the terms of a sequence as A1, A2, A3, A4, so on. A1 is the first term, A2 is the second term. You can also denote them as T1, T2, T3, T4, term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. After some time, I'll tell you that I will start using T1, T2, T3. Anyways, as far as types of sequences are concerned, I told you based on the number of terms, we have finite sequence and infinite sequence. Now, guys, based on relationship as such, that exists between the terms. Based on relationship that exists between the terms, what are the types of sequences that we have, guys? The first one is arithmetic sequence. Sir, are you going to explain this now? No, I'm just going to make you write this. I will explain it after some time. Arithmetic sequence, geometric sequence. A lot of finance formulas as such are based on geometric sequence. A lot of finance formulas are based on geometric sequence. Harmonic sequence. Now, guys, as far as our obviously we have more, guys. There's a combination, guys, of arithmetic and geometric sequence called as arithmetic geometric sequence. There's a combination of arithmetic and geometric termed as arithmetic geometric sequence. In the end, guys, I will define what is arithmetic and geometric sequence also. For the time being, we are just writing all of this here. And then we have Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers. Now, only these two are covered in syllabus. Only arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence forms part of our syllabus. We will be learning a little about harmonic sequence or harmonic mean, guys, as a part of statistics, not as a part of this chapter, guys. Harmonic sequence will come later, guys. Harmonic progression or harmonic mean will come as a part of statistics. We will not be learning about arithmetic geometric sequence as such, guys, and Fibonacci sequences. As in, we do not have that as a part of our syllabus. I will still tell you as to what are Fibonacci numbers. Only these two are covered. Only these two are covered in syllabus. Again, guys, I am not going to define what is arithmetic sequence, geometric sequence. I will do that after 30 minutes as such. Once we finish the meaning of the term series also, then I will start what is arithmetic sequence and series. After we finish arithmetic sequence and series, I will come to geometric sequence and series also. Okay, please do not worry about it. Okay, sir, understood, sir, that these are the types of sequences that we have based on relationship. For our understanding better, basically, guys, Fibonacci numbers are those where the next term is a sum of previous two terms. The next term is a sum of the previous two terms. The sequence starts with 0 and 1. The first two terms are 0 and 1. First two terms of the sequence are 0 and 1. Sir, are we supposed to remember this for examination? Not required for exam. This is just because I am telling you that there are types of sequences as such, guys. I am making you write this also. Otherwise, this is actually not a part of your syllabus as such, guys. As I told you, we only have arithmetic sequence. We only have geometric sequence. That is relevant. That is important for our exam, or that will come in the examination. If I did not tell you, this chapter's weightage is 4 marks. they can be 4 MCQs coming out of this chapter. Now you'll be like, sir, only 4. Guys, there are 18 chapters as such, guys. Even if you directly divide 20 by 18, the answer is 5-point change. But there are few chapters with a weightage of 12 marks also. So these chapters as such, beta, will come for 4 marks. Normally, beta, this chapter will come for 4 marks in the examination. On an average, the weightage is only 4 marks. So guys, the first term is 0, second term is 1. What do you think, beta, would be the third term? It would be 0 plus 1, 1. Sum of the previous two terms. Previous two terms are 0, 1. If you add 0 and 1, the next term is 1. Now for the next term, what are the previous two terms? 1 and 1, sir. So 1 plus 1, 2, beta. For the fourth term, the previous two terms are second term and third term, which are 1 and 1. Next, beta, the previous two terms are 1 and 2, sir. So that will be 3, sir. The next term, beta, would be previous two terms, beta, 2 and 3. So that would be 5, sir. For the next term, beta, you'll write 3 plus 5, sir. That would be 8, sir. Next, beta, you'll write 5 plus 8. That would be 13, sir. Next, you will write 8 plus 13. That would be 21. Next, you will write 13 plus 21, 34. I hope you're understanding this better. So Fibonacci numbers, beta, are basically where the next term is the sum of the previous two numbers. And the series will start with 0 and 1. So you have 0, 1. And next beta will be 0 plus 1, 1. And then next will be 1 plus 1, 2. And then next will be 1 plus 2, 3. You can make a quick note of this as such, guys, based on relationship. This is arithmetic sequence, geometric, harmonic, arithmetic, geometric. Just write this in your notebook. I will be defining arithmetic sequence after a while. Make a quick note of this better. Yes, beta. I hope you're all making a note of this. Yes, guys. If you're still not done with it, beta, you can pause the screen and copy. Okay, beta. I hope you're all done with this, guys. I just did what is the meaning of the word sequence, and then types of sequences, but are based on number of terms, and then based on mathematical relationship, wherein we have arithmetic sequence, arithmetic geometric sequence, and then but I wrote harmonic sequence and Fibonacci numbers. I hope you're all clear about this, beta. Now the next part is series. Any guesses, beta, as to what is a series? Now you'll be like, sir, even if we guess, you will not listen to it. But still better, you can still guess the answer. Sitting at home also, you can obviously guess the answer as such, guys. There is no problem in that. So when you say series as such, beta, here, series is basically the sum of the terms of a sequence. It is sequence plus the summation of terms of the sequence. That would become a series. That would be series. The sum of terms of a sequence. Matlab kya, sir? So basically, guys, when you write a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4, so on, this would become a sequence. This would become a series. When you express them as the summation as such, guys, instead of merely putting out the numbers, instead of merely arranging the numbers and writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you just write those numbers, it is a sequence. If you add those terms as such, beta, it would become a series. So it is basically very simple, beta, sum of terms of a sequence. So, sir, example. So if I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, beta, now this is a sequence. This is a sequence. But if I write 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, beta, this would become a series. When you add the terms of a sequence, beta, it becomes a series. If you simply write those terms as such, guys, it would be a sequence. It would be a sequence. Understood or not? Understood, sir. Very simple. Why do you have to keep shouting for this? Okay, beta. So there is sequence and there is series. If you want another example as such, guys, what if I write say 2 square, 2 cube, 2 power 4, 2 power 5. Now if I simply write them, beta, it would be a sequence. If I add them as such, guys, if I add them, beta, it would become a series. Yes or no? Yes, sir. That's simple. Now based on number of terms, beta, again, based on number of terms, you will have finite series and infinite series. Based on number of terms, beta, you can have a finite series where there are limited number of terms, or finite terms as such, guys. I do not have to again explain what is a finite series and a infinite. Obviously, beta, if it's a finite sequence, it's a finite series. You add the terms of a finite sequence, what you get is a finite series. You add the terms of an infinite sequence, what you get is an infinite series. So if the terms are finite, it is finite series. If the terms are infinite, it's an infinite series. What amazing definition, sir. Couple of you are overexcited, guys, because the classes have just begun. It's very good to be excited about the classes as such, guys, but then, you know, ensure that the amount of excitement remains or does not drastically reduce as such, guys, after a couple of days. You should be equally interested in studying throughout the next 6 months or throughout the next 12 months as such, guys. Concentrate. So yes, beta, based on the number of terms, guys, we will have a finite series and an infinite series. I hope you're all listening to the explanations while I'm explaining and you're not blindly copying as such, guys. Obviously, you will not want to blindly copy. So guys, and also, guys, one more thing is, always remember, guys, sum of terms, sum beta of terms is denoted by the letter sigma. Sigma denotes the Greek letter sigma, beta. सर थोड़ा अच्छा लिखो सर. Denotes summation, sum of terms. So if I want to write, beta, if I say, I can write this, beta. When I write S10, it means sum of 10 terms. I can also write that as summation of AI, wherein I'm supposed to add I from 1 to 10. I can write that as summation of AI, beta, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10. So I can write as this beta. Or if I write say sum of S5 beta, it means sum of 5 terms. Sum of first 5 terms as such, guys. ये सिंबल्स याद रखना है क्या बेटा, उतना इट इज नॉट दैट. I equals 1 to 5 from first term till fifth term. I'm supposed to add first term, second term, third term. That's some Greek letter sigma. इसको बोलते हैं sigma as such, guys. Sigma. Greek letter sigma beta is sum of terms. So when I write S10, I will write S10, S5, S8, S9, S20, S30, and not sigma I say leke this thing beta. If I have sum to, if I write like this beta, it means sum of infinite terms. Sum of infinite terms. So when you write sum of infinite terms beta, it is I equals 1 till infinity. I equals 1 till infinity. A1, A2, A3, A4, so on till infinity as such, guys. ठीक है बेटा. I hope again everyone has understood what is a series. So far I've just told you what is a sequence, types of sequences and a series. Should I quickly revise everything as such beta? So sequence is a basically collection of numbers, objects, things beta with a definite rule. Based on that definite rule you can always calculate or you can arrive at the object or the thing or the number of any term of the sequence beta. Our discussion is strictly restricted to numbers, and based on the number of terms we have a finite sequence and an infinite sequence. Finite sequence is finite number of elements. Infinite sequence obviously has infinite number of terms beta. The order of terms is very important, because if you change the order you will not be able to establish a mathematical relationship. Based on mathematical relationship, the types of sequences are arithmetic sequence, geometric sequence, harmonic sequence, arithmetic, geometric sequence, and then Fibonacci numbers. I told you Fibonacci numbers beta is where the next term is the sum of the previous two terms. Series is nothing but beta the sum of terms of a sequence. The sum of terms of a sequence beta becomes a series, nothing else. I hope you are clear about that beta. Make a quick note of this. फटाफट कॉपी कर लो बेटा. Yes, but I hope you're all copying this. Yes, guys. If you're not done with it, better you can pause it and then copy. Yes, guys. Now I hope you're all done with this, beta. I keep looking at the screen, guys, to check whether the volume bar is playing or not, whether the video is coming properly or not. Because many times it happens, beta, that we take an entire class and then we realize after the class that we forgot to switch on the volume button, and that's we just have to record the entire thing again, obviously. Then. So यहाँ पे बेटा I hope you've understood the meaning of the word sequence and series, finite sequence, finite infinite sequence, finite series, infinite series, and the relevance of this. Let me just remind you, there will be a lot of things better in the finance world where there will be some relationship between the numbers. So if there are huge number of numbers, guys, instead of directly adding those numbers, you can easily use a mathematical formula to arrive at the summation of those terms. This is where sequences and series are helpful. This is where they're related to the business environment. Okay, that is what you should know. Yes, sir. Now, beta, we will be starting the very first sequence that we have in our syllabus, and that is arithmetic sequence and series. The first exercise is based on only arithmetic sequence and series. The second exercise is based on geometric sequence and series, and then a combination of both of them. I have a habit of calling this chapter as progressions also. Progressions also, better. A lot of you might be having the term progression. Progression again literally means progressing better towards a definite value. So that's the same thing as a sequence only. So arithmetic sequence and a series. Also simply called as an arithmetic progression, AP. Arithmetic progression. Listen, guys, carefully. You can copy after a while. Now, when I use the word arithmetic, we know that it is a sequence. We know that there has to be a mathematical relationship. Only then it will become a sequence. And if you add them, it will be termed as a series. So when you use the word arithmetic, when we use the word arithmetic sequence, guys, it means a mathematical relation should be of a particular kind. Only then it will become an arithmetic sequence. If the mathematical relationship is of some other kind, then it is not an arithmetic sequence. So when we use the word arithmetic progression, arithmetic sequence, it basically means better that the terms should increase or decrease by a constant value. The terms should increase or decrease by a constant value. Only then better it will be an arithmetic sequence or an arithmetic progression. Or, guys, the difference between any two consecutive terms, I repeat, the difference between any two consecutive terms beta should be same throughout the sequence. Only if the difference between any two consecutive terms remains same, guys, it will be termed as an arithmetic sequence. See, the relationship can be anything, but if the relationship is of this kind, is of this type, then it becomes an arithmetic sequence. Then you can say better that this is an arithmetic progression. This is how you're supposed to define those terms. So basically, better where the terms of a sequence increase or decrease by a constant value. Arey yaar. The terms of a sequence increase or decrease by a constant value. It can be in increasing order, it can be in decreasing order, it can be positive numbers, it can be negative numbers, it can be anything. They can be rational numbers or such, guys. Kuch bhi ho sakta hai. It can be anything. It should only increase or decrease better by a constant value. Only if they increase or decrease by a constant value as such, guys, you can say that this is an arithmetic sequence. This is an arithmetic sequence. Or better, the difference between any two consecutive terms, consecutive terms मतलब क्या guys? Second term, third term, right next to each other. Third term, fourth term, fifth term, fifth term, sixth term. These are two consecutive terms. So the difference between any two consecutive terms, two तो लिखा ही नहीं बेटा मैं, Any two consecutive terms beta should be same throughout the sequence, should be same beta throughout the sequence. Only then guys it will be termed as an arithmetic sequence. Boss, there is a mathematical relationship. What kind of mathematical relationship? If you take the difference between any two consecutive terms, that difference will be same throughout the sequence. That type of mathematical relationship will make a sequence as an arithmetic sequence. Now you will be like, sir, we have learned all of this in 10th standard also. I do not care, but still listen. ठीक है, whether you had max or whether you did not have max, I really do not care about it as such guys. All that matters to me is we have to assume that we are learning things from scratch, and yes, we'll be learning things from scratch only. So when you say the terms of a sequence beta should increase or decrease by a constant value, or the difference between any two consecutive terms should remain same beta throughout the sequence, then beta it is termed as an arithmetic sequence. Now guys, यहाँ पे say beta, if I take an example, if I take an example as such beta, say the first term I will write t1 beta, t1 first term, t यहाँ से beta I'll start, instead of writing a1 guys I'll write t1. So the first term as such beta is 5, t2 beta, the second term is 8, so the third term is 11, fourth term is 14, fifth term is 17, and so on. Now guys, if you take the difference between these two guys, difference beta here is 3. If you take the difference between these two beta, again this is 3. If you take the difference between these two as such beta, again this is 3. Are you understanding guys? So if the difference between any two consecutive terms as such beta remains same, or the terms are increasing or decreasing by a constant value, not at a constant rate, it is not increasing by 5%, 5%, 5%, it is increasing by a constant value. 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11, 11 plus 3 is 14, 14 plus 3 is 17, so on. Then beta it will be an arithmetic sequence. Yes or no? So this, it is an arithmetic sequence. It is an arithmetic sequence beta because the terms difference is same. What if I tell you another example beta? What if there's another example? The first term beta is 2, the second term is 6, the next term beta is 12, the next term as such beta is say 20, the next term beta is say 30. Now if you look at the difference beta, here the difference is 4, here the difference is 6, here the difference is 8, here the difference is 10. Now do not say sir the differences are in arithmetic sequence. Good observation beta, but 2, 6, 12, 20, 30 are not in arithmetic sequence. The difference is no, they're not increasing by a constant value guys. The difference between any two consecutive terms is not same throughout the sequence. So yes, it is not an arithmetic sequence. It is not an arithmetic sequence. Only if the difference remains same as such beta it will be an arithmetic sequence, otherwise it will not be an arithmetic sequence. Take another example guys. What if I tell you that the first term beta is 5, next term is 1, next term is minus 3, next term is minus 7, minus 11. Here if you take the difference between these two terms as such guys, 5, 1, it is decreasing by 4. It is decreasing by 4 beta, minus 4 I'll write. Here also difference beta is minus 4. Here also difference as such beta is minus 4. Here also beta difference is minus 4. So is this an arithmetic sequence? Yes boss, it is an arithmetic sequence. It is an arithmetic sequence. I hope you're all understanding guys. Only if the terms increase or decrease by a constant. Natural numbers beta, set of natural numbers is an arithmetic sequence. 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5. They're all increasing by a constant amount, and that is 1. Every number is 1 more than the previous number. So yes, that's an example of an arithmetic sequence. I hope you're all clear about what is an arithmetic sequence. If you add these terms beta, if you write them as a summation of all of these terms, then it will become an arithmetic series. Obviously beta, if you add up all of these terms as such guys, it will become an arithmetic series. I hope you're all clear about this beta. Quickly make a note of what is arithmetic sequence. The terms of a sequence should increase or decrease by a constant value. All of you better make a note of this. Yes, guys, I hope you're all done with this. Hope you're done with this example, beta. The differences are not constant. That is why it is not an arithmetic sequence. Now this one. Chalo beta. Yes, guys, I assume that you're all done with this. I hope you've understood what is the literal meaning of the word arithmetic sequence as such, guys. First, we have understood what is a sequence, and we have understood as to what is a series. Now, a type of sequence based on the mathematical relationship, and that is arithmetic sequence. The term should either increase by a constant value or should decrease by a constant value. In other words, the difference between any two consecutive terms beta should remain same throughout the sequence. Only then it will be termed as an arithmetic sequence. Now, guys, as far as denoting this terms is concerned, guys, the first term is always denoted as a. The first term beta is always denoted as a. That will also be t1, guys. The first term beta, that is t1, is always denoted as a. The second term, sorry, why second term beta? The difference between any two consecutive terms beta is termed as common difference. The difference between any two consecutive terms, guys, in an arithmetic sequence is termed as common difference. Common difference. And this common difference as such beta is denoted as D. Is denoted as D. So what if I tell you beta that the first term common difference beta is D? Please understand, guys, your common difference beta is the difference between any two consecutive terms. Yes or no? So it can be second term minus first term. it can be third term minus second term, it can be fourth term minus third term, so on beta. The difference between any two consecutive terms is termed as common difference, and that is D. First term is denoted as A. For it to be arithmetic sequence, it should either increase or decrease by a constant value. It should increase or decrease by a constant value. The difference between any two consecutive terms should remain same throughout the sequence. Only then the sequence will be of the type arithmetic. Are we clear? Yes, sir. So if I tell you beta, if I tell you that the first term as such, guys, is say 6, and our common difference as such beta, common difference, first term A is 6 beta, and common difference D, guys, common difference D beta is say 4 guys. So now beta, here if you want to determine the entire sequence, if you want to write the entire sequence, how will you write, guys? If you want to construct the entire arithmetic sequence as such, guys, when you say common difference is 4, guys, it basically means the difference between any two consecutive terms is 4, or second term will be 4 more than the first term, third term will be 4 more than the second term. Yes or no beta? So your T1 beta first term, T1 first term as such beta here would be 6. T2, guys, second term, what do you think beta should be the second term? The second term beta should be 4 more than the first term. The second term should be 4 more than the first term because the common difference is 4. T3, guys, third term should be 4 more than the second term, which is 14. If I talk about fourth term as such, guys, here, it should be 4 more than the third term, guys, and that is 18. You'll be like, sir, this is very simple. Why are you shouting so much? Sun lo beta. Fifth term as such, guys, will be 18 plus 4, 22. So on, guys. When I say first term is 6, common difference is 4, it basically means every consecutive term. It basically means, guys, next term should be 4 more than the preceding term. Every term will be 4 more than the preceding term as such, guys. Every term will be 4 more than the preceding term, and that will become, guys, that is how you will say that the common difference is 4. Understood? Yes, sir, understood. No doubt about it. Now, guys, the same thing if I want to express in the form of a formula beta, what will I do? Listen carefully beta. You will always write T1 beta first term as A, correct? T2 beta, T2, your second term, guys, should be D more than the first term, because the common difference is represented as D, guys. So obviously beta, your second term beta will be A plus D. Yes or no? Your third term, guys, should be D more than the first term, the second term, guys. Basically, whatever is your second term, guys, whatever is your, here if you want beta, I can write this also. Your second term beta will be first term plus common difference, so that is A plus D. Your third term beta should be second term plus another common difference, so that is A plus D plus D, A plus 2D. We know that our second term is A plus D, so third term beta will become A plus 2. Are you understanding, guys? Every term is D more than the previous term. What is D here? D is common difference, sir. So if you want me to write fourth term as such beta here, fourth term, now this would be D more than the third term. Whatever is your T3, third term beta, to that if you add D beta common difference, you will get fourth term. So this would become A plus 2D is already your third term. Add D to it, A plus 3D. Oh, acha sir, we understood now. Fifth term as such, guys, if you want, I'm just deriving the formula beta here. It will be T4 plus D, guys. T4 plus D. So this would be A plus 3D plus D. A plus 4D. A plus 4D, guys. Sixth term. Sir, samajh gaye, sir. Please don't write. It will be fifth term plus common difference beta. So that is A plus 4D plus D, guys. So that is A plus 5D. A plus 5D, guys. Sir, please stop, sir. If you want 20th term as such beta, if you want the 20th term, can I write this as A plus 19D? When 6th term is A plus 5D, when 5th term is A plus 4D, when 3rd term is A plus 2D, don't you think 20th term will be A plus 19D? Yes sir, it should be a plus 19d. Don't you think beta 30th term should be a plus 29 times of common difference? First term plus 29 times of common difference will give us a 30th term. Don't you think beta 50th term should be a plus 49d? Don't you think 45th term beta should be a plus 44 times of common difference? Look at this beta, I'm just trying to derive the nth term. So if you want nth term beta, it is a plus n minus 1 into d. Are a plus n minus 1 into d beta would be your nth term. This is how you arrive. So if they give you any common difference, if they give you the first term, they ask you to arrive at any term as such, guys. If they ask you to arrive, say guys, if I again, that formula is important beta, please do not forget. If I tell you beta the first term is 5, the common difference is 3 as such, guys. Common difference is 3, and I ask you to compute 44th term. You will simply write a plus 43d, because it is 44th term. It should be first term plus 43 times of common difference, which should be 5 plus 43 times of 3. 43 times of 3 beta. 43 3s is 129, correct? Plus 5, 134. This would be my 44th term. If they ask me to compute 92nd term, guys, I will write a plus 91 times of d. 5 plus 91 times of 3 beta. 91 3s 273 plus 5 278. Let me check. 278. This would become my 92nd term. So I hope you're all clear, guys. If it is 5th term, 4th term, you can directly add and get the value as such. So if it is 100th term, if it is 200th term, you will use this. So any term of a sequence can, if it is arithmetic sequence, you know the mathematical relationship, guys, now. So basically, guys, if it is arithmetic sequence, the terms as such beta would be a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d, a plus 4d, so on beta. Here nth term, guys, is a plus n minus 1 into d. A plus n minus 1 into d. This is your nth term, guys. Are we clear about this? Yes sir, absolutely clear, no doubt about this. One important thing beta is most of you might have used calculators as such, guys. CBSE students are used to scientific calculators. In our CA course beta, scientific calculators are not allowed. A 12 function calculator, the basic 6 function calculator, whatever the term it has beta, is allowed. 6 function calculators. My favorite calculator as such, guys, is this. If you can see this as such, guys, in the video, I'll just write the model number here. You can buy any basic calculator as such, guys, not a scientific calculator. I'm telling you again, CBSE students are used to scientific calculators. We do not have scientific calculators, not allowed. What I use beta is JJ120D plus model. I like this calculator, it is good as such beta, but I also end up making a lot of mistakes in this. I do not know why. Casio company beta. This is the calculator that I use. You can use any calculator beta. Few calculators will have something called as GT on that, guys. Prefer buying, if you are, in case you're buying a calculator now, please buy a calculator which has GT on it. GT stands for grand total. GT beta stands for grand total. In case you are buying a calculator, buy a calculator which has GT option in it. In case you already have a calculator which does not have GT in it, it's okay. We can still use M plus M minus MRC. We can still use M plus MRC as such beta, that is memory. You will add every term and then MRC is recollecting memory. We can still use that to total up terms. If you have GT, it is easier to calculate as such, guys. So do not worry beta. If you already have a calculator as such, guys, use it. But guys, stick to one calculator till the end, because once you get used to a calculator as such, guys, and suddenly you have a different model before the examination, you might face a little problem. So if you're used to JJ120D plus, as in if you're buying a new calculator, see whatever, if it has a GT option, preferably buy that. And stick to only one type of calculator till the end, so that you do not end up making mistakes, or you do not end up taking more time in the examination, guys. The speed will also matter in the examination. When I say speed matters in the examination, you should be familiar with the things that you are using in the examination. That will ensure that you are, taking the right amount of time to solve things. So yes beta, please keep that in mind. Do not forget beta, keep that in mind. I'm telling you again, do not forget. Buy any calculator. If you're buying a calculator now beta, a basic 6 function calculator, what they term it as. But again, If you are buying one now, preferably buy a calculator which has GT option in it, grand total. Guys, I know that there are lockdown in couple of places as such, guys. You can still place an online order, guys. Online deliveries are still allowed, so you can place an online order. But yes, calculator is required, guys. I would still encourage you better that not always you should depend on calculators. Try using your brain also better every now and then. It improves your skills as such, guys. I try to calculate without a calculator most of the times. I'll also use calculator just to ensure that my answers are not wrong as such, guys. Because if it's a physical class, you'll immediately shout, "Sir, this is not the right answer." But here, guys, I'll only get to know about it on the next day or anything. So yes, I'll also check the calculations, but ensure that you use a calculator as well as use your brain bit of a calculations. Okay, I hope everyone has understood the definition of nth term, guys. If they ask us to compute any term of an arithmetic sequence as such, guys, you can blindly arrive at it by writing a plus n minus 1 into d, where a stands for the first term, d stands for common difference. T1 is first term, T2 second term, T3 third term, T4 fourth term, T5 fifth term, so on. Tn is nth term. So a first term is denoted as a. The difference between two consecutive terms is d, common difference. If I add d to the first term, I will get second term. If I add d to the second term, I'll get third term. If I add d to the fourth term, I'll get fifth term, so on. So I can write nth term of an arithmetic sequence but as a plus n minus 1 into d. I can write nth term of an arithmetic sequence, guys, as a plus n minus 1 into d. I hope you're all understanding this better and there is absolutely no problem in this. Please make a note of this. So yeah, this is where you'll have to start copying from, and copy a little faster as such, guys, because I'll also discuss some of n terms of an arithmetic sequence here. Copy this, guys, all of you. Yes, beta. I hope you're all copying this. If you're not done with this, better pause the screen and then do it. Yes, guys. I hope you're all copying this better. ठीक है. If you're still not done with it beta, you can pause the screen and then do it. If you're still not done beta, you can pause the screen and then do it. Chalo guys. Now, if you want, I can just discuss one more example as such beta regarding the nth term. You'll be like, Nako sir. Say beta, what if I tell you that the arithmetic progression is, say, 3, 5, 7, 9, so on as such beta. So what if this is your arithmetic progression? Your first term as such beta here is 3. Common difference. First term beta, that is, first term beta, that is a is 3. Common difference as such guys would be the difference between any two consecutive terms guys, and that will be 2. Common difference beta here is 2. If they ask me to compute the 10th term beta, I can write a plus 9d, so that will be 3 plus 9 times of 2 beta, 18, 21. If they ask me to compute t15 beta, that will be a plus 14d, so that will be 1 second beta, 3 plus 14 times of 2 beta, 28 plus 3, 31. You can do this with me beta, you do not have to wait for this because I've already explained. If they simply ask nth term beta in the examination guys, most of the questions will be regarding computing nth term, where n is n only. Matlab you will have to write the nth term in terms of n. So this would be a plus n minus 1 into d guys. Substitute d and a guys. We know first term is 3 beta and common difference is 2. So this will be 3 plus 2n minus 2. So this can be written as 2n plus 1. So the nth term of this arithmetic progression is 2n plus 1 guys. Where whatever, if you want 5th term beta, you will write 2 into 5 plus 1. If you want the 10th term as such beta, you will write 2 into 10 plus 1. So on. That is how you will get the answer. Please make a note of it, guys. All of you, beta. I hope you're done with this. After this, I will arrive at. So, guys, so far, again, I will revise everything. Do not worry, beta. Everything is simple. ये copy करो, beta, here. Copy this part, guys, which is the nth term, a plus n minus 1 into d. I'll zoom in, guys, if you want. You can pause it also and then copy. Okay, beta. I'm assuming that you're all done with this. Simple example, guys. 3, 5, 7, 9. First term is 3. Common difference d is 2. T10, T15, Tn. Just in case, beta, you want to pause, you can pause the video, take a little time to understand this, and then again we can move forward from there. Now, guys, the next thing that we're supposed to do. Okay, beta. What did we do so far? Sequence, series, arithmetic sequence. Sequence is an arrangement of numbers with a definite rule. There should be a mathematical relationship existing in those numbers. You cannot change the order of numbers. It should be possible for you to calculate any term of the sequence. There can be finite sequence, infinite sequence based on the number of terms in the sequence. Based on mathematical relationship, we have arithmetic sequence, we have geometric sequence, we have arithmetic geometric sequence, we have harmonic sequence, we have Fibonacci numbers. And then, beta, series is the summation of the terms of a sequence. When you add the terms of a sequence, beta, it becomes a series. Arithmetic sequence, beta, is a sequence where the mathematical relationship is basically the difference between any two consecutive terms should remain same. Or, guys, the term should increase or decrease by a constant value, by a constant amount. It should keep increasing or decreasing by a constant value. We write the first term as a, common difference as d. The first term is t1, beta, that is a, and then nth term of an arithmetic sequence is a plus n minus 1 into d. Now, guys, if you want to arrive at sum to n terms or sum of n terms, sum of n terms of an arithmetic sequence, what if you want to arrive at sum of n terms or sum to n terms of an arithmetic progression, guys? So when I write S10, beta, when I write S10, it basically means we are supposed to add the first 10 terms. We are supposed to add the first 10 terms as such, guys. When I write S20, beta, it basically means I'm supposed to add the first 20 terms. Yes or no? When I write Sn, beta, it basically means I'm supposed to add n terms. N terms as such, guys. If I write Sn as such, beta, it would be me writing sum of n terms. Now, is there a way to arrive at this answer? Listen carefully, beta. All of you guys, please listen carefully. Now, sum to 10 terms, beta, would be T1, T2, T3, so on till T9, T10. Yes or no, beta? Yes, sir. Please listen carefully, beta. I'm deriving sum of 10 terms, sum of n terms, guys, of an arithmetic progression. I'm starting with S10, beta, so that I arrive at sum of 10 terms. I will use that sum of 10 terms, beta, to generalize the equation. So this is basically a. We know the first term is denoted as a. Second term is denoted as a plus d, guys. Third term would be a plus 2d. So on, beta. Ninth term would be a plus 8d. 10th term, beta, that is the last term of this, will be a plus 9d. A plus 9d. Yes or no? What if I just write the entire term, beta, in a reverse order? A plus 9d. The last term is a plus 9d. Second last term, beta, will be a plus 8d. What are you doing, sir? I'm trying to derive the formula of sum of n terms. Sir, our derivations asked in the examination. You told us that this is an objective paper, MCQs. Obviously, they will not ask you to derive something. So, sir, does that mean we can simply remember the formulas? Yes, you can, but then there is always a good way, but there's always, better in understanding the derivations of the formula so that you do not go wrong in any question. Okay? I keep saying this, it is purely better for your understanding, nothing else. So I can write a plus 70 as the third last term beta, so on. It will keep reducing. I'll have a plus dA. If I just in reverse, write the entire series in a reverse manner. Sir, can you please tell me again, what are you trying to do? Sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. So when I write sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression, it means I'm supposed to add first term, second term, third term, so on till the nth term. So when I have S10, it means I'm supposed to add first term, second term, third term, so on till the 10th term. I'm writing the same thing but in a reverse order. What if I add both of them, guys? So 2 times of sum of 10 terms, 2 times of sum of 10 terms. Isn't this 2a plus 9d? Again, a plus a, 2a, d plus 8d. Again, 2a plus 9d. I'm just adding both the terms, guys. I'm writing S10 only again in a reverse order, and then I'm adding S10 with S10. And then I'm adding S10 with S10. But again, if I add these beta here, I'll get 2a plus 9d. So on beta. Here also 2a plus 9d. Here also 2a plus 9d. Sir, what is this, sir? When I write S10, there are 10 terms. There are 10 terms. So if I add 2a plus 9d, 2a plus 9d, 2a plus 9d 10 times, I'll have 2 times of sum to n terms. 2 times of sum to n terms as such, guys. If you cannot see a part of the screen, 2 times of sum to 10 terms beta as 10 times of 2a plus 9d. 2 times of sum to 10 terms beta will be written as 10 times of 2a plus 9d. 10 times of 2a plus 9d. So this beta can be written as sum to 10 terms will be 10 divided by 2 into 2a plus 9d. Into 2a plus 9d. Can I generalize the formula beta? Yes, I can write sum to n terms as n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. I can write sum to n terms beta as 2a n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. 2a plus 9 can be written as 10 minus 1. 9 can be written as beta 10 minus 1. So that is Sn can be written as n. This is how we derive the formula beta of sum to n terms of an arithmetic progression. Sir, are we supposed to remember this formula? Undoubtedly beta, very important. If there are 4 MCQs asked in the examination beta, at least 1 MCQ will be based on arithmetic progression. At least 1 MCQ will be based on arithmetic progression as such, guys. So sum of 10 terms is 10 by 2 into 2a plus 9d. Sum of n terms beta here is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Are we trying to understand this better? Ye dekho guys, this derivation I will again give you time to copy this. So when I'm writing S10, I'm writing T1, T2, T3, T4, so on till T10. T1 is A, T2 is A plus D, T3 is A plus 2D, so on till A plus 9D. Reverse order में लिख रहा हूँ. I'm writing the same thing in a reverse order. A plus 9D, A plus 8D, and then I'm adding term by term. I'm adding term by term beta, so I got 2A plus 9D, 2A plus 9D, 2A plus 9D. Obviously I will have 10 terms. Why did I write 10 into 2a plus 9d? Because I'm writing S2 and 10 terms, sum of 10 terms, but a sum of 10 terms will have 10 terms in it, no? So this 2a plus 9d, 2a plus 9d, 2a plus 9d also will occur 10 times. That is why 10 times of 2a plus 9d, and this will become the formula beta for sum of n terms. N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Sum to 10 terms is 2a plus 9d, so sum to n terms will be n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. I hope we're all clear about this, guys. Yes, better. One more important thing, guys. I can also write sum to n terms as, can I write 2a beta as a plus a? Yes. This is the important formula beta. Can I write 2a beta as a plus a? Undoubtedly, sir. Can I write a plus n minus 1 into d as nth term? Isn't this nth term, guys? A plus n minus 1 into d isn't that nth term? Who the one guys who do not want the explanation to the formulas, you can mug up the formulas in the end as such, guys. Though I do not encourage, I will never suggest that, but then you can do that. I'm just writing 2a beta as a plus a, and then a plus n minus 1 into d beta can be written as the nth term. A is the first term, correct? So sum to n terms beta can also be written as t1 plus tn. First term plus last term. N by 2 beta into first term plus last term. Nth term beta would be the last term. Sum to n terms beta would be n by 2 into first term plus last term. Are we clear about this? Yes, sir. I was just trying to derive sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression, guys. Formula is 2a plus n minus 1 into d. I did that using sum to 10 terms. I did not write everything in terms of n beta because that would cause confusion. That is why I prefer taking sum of 10 terms. You can also take sum of 5 terms and then try to derive the formula beta. All that you have to do is just write the terms in a reverse order and then add them. This is how you derive the formula as such, guys. This is how you derive the formula. So far beta in this class, I will not do anything more, guys. I will not start practical problems. Do not worry. Tomorrow, guys, we'll be doing questions on arithmetic progression only again with problems, guys. In case you have any doubts in anything as such, beta, while I'm explaining problems again, I will come back to concepts. Keep explaining each and every formula again. Keep explaining each and every derivation again, guys. So just in case there is any doubt also, beta, that left, it will automatically get clarified, beta, in the next class. Automatically it will get clarified. Now, guys, in case of an arithmetic progression, guys, it is of the type a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d, so on, guys. Okay, first term beta is a, common difference, this is what you have to remember, common difference is d. Nth term beta is written as a plus n minus 1 into d, nth term of an arithmetic sequence. Sum to n terms beta is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, which can also be written as n by 2 into first term plus last term, t1 plus tn. First term plus last term. That is how you can write this. This is what we have learned, beta. Your job is to copy this, guys, now. Sum of 10 terms, n terms of an arithmetic progression. Start copying, guys. All of you better start copying this. Sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. Hope you're all copying this better properly. Take your time to copy better, but then understand everything properly. Yes, guys, this is the final thing that we have learned so far in this class, nothing else. So even if you just want to remember the end formulas, remember nth term is a plus n minus 1 into d. Sum to n terms is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, which can be written as n by 2 into t1 plus tn. N by 2 beta into t1 plus tn. Yes, beta. I hope you're all copying this. Chalo guys, if you're not done with this, you can pause and copy. Guys, carefully guys, as in go through each and everything that we have learned today, Sat Beta. The derivation of the formulas. Derivations will only help you in better understanding the concepts, guys. Even if you remember the end formulas as such, guys, it is sufficient for solving questions. Okay. So you will have to compulsorily remember better that the nth term of an arithmetic progression is a plus n minus 1 into d. sum of n terms. If I want to add n terms of an arithmetic progression, it is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or I can also write that as n by 2 into first term plus last term. This is what you're supposed to remember. In case you have any doubts, beta, you know that you can always ask in the groups. Okay? That's it for now, guys. Again, do not forget, revise, go through everything as such, beta. It might not take more than 10-15 minutes. I believe hardly it will take 10 minutes, beta, to go through this entire thing. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be solving questions on this, beta, tomorrow. So yes, we'll be using all of these formulas tomorrow. Bye bye, guys. See you guys tomorrow.